How many times have you clicked checkout to buy something in the last few months? If the spike in online sales amid COVID-19 is any indicator. Or, perhaps, the list of merchants on your last credit card statement. It's probably a lot. Groceries. Books. Beauty supplies. Inflatable children's pools as the pandemic persists. We have relied on e-commerce to get things to our doors, contact-free and fast. These things range from essentials to not-so-quite essentials. In Canada in April, online shoppers trapped at home were scooping up canned quail eggs, sitar strings and trampolines for the kids. From panic buying and hoarding. We already know that the stress of the pandemic can break our brains and morph our buying habits. However, even though online shopping has been around for years, actually decades, it's only become truly mainstream recently. Amazon has been around since the mid-90s. But by even 2010 in the US, online shopping only made up just more than 6% of all retail sales. And now, Internet sales as a total percentage of sales in the UK rocketed from 2.8% in November 2006 to 18.9% in February 2020 and then shot up again to 30% in April 2020 because of the pandemic. In May 2020, sales from non-store retailers in the US were up 30.8% from May 2019. Before COVID-19, relying on the internet for shopping hadn't been so ingrained in our day-to-day lives. A couple of decades ago, online shopping was a novelty, just as the internet itself still was. Most people were only buying hard-to-find records or obscure action figures on eBay. So how did we get to the point where online shopping became a way of life? And where will it guide us in the post-pandemic future? In 1984, in Gateshead, England, a 72-year-old grandmother named Jane Snowball sat down in her armchair and used her television remote control to place an order of margarine, cornflakes and eggs. She used the Videotex system developed by English inventor Michael Aldrich. Says Jonathan Reynolds, Associate Professor in Retail Marketing and Deputy Dean of Oxford University's said business school. Aldrich took her TV and turned it into a computer terminal. She used the Videotex technology to generate a shopping list on her TV screen. And her order was phoned in to her local Tesco. The goods were then sent to her door, like magic. It was originally conceived as a social service for the elderly and disadvantaged, says Reynolds. The system, which predated the public internet, relied upon the development of a closed network of computers. Little did Aldrich or Snowball know that the nifty tech experiment laid the framework for an industry now worth £118 billion. $186 billion. In the UK. Following this early grocery service. The next major innovation in the online shopping space is said to have occurred in 1994. When a computer whiz called Daniel M. Cohn, then aged 21, set up an online marketplace called NetMarket. It was not only dubbed a new venture that is the equivalent of a shopping mall in cyberspace, but also marked the first digitally secure transaction. The first purchase. A Sting CD, retailing at $12.48. £10. From then, the early internet, with its screeching dial-up sounds, trickled its way into people's homes. And while today virtually all big corporations are online, in the early days only a few committed to an e-commerce strategy. One of those was Pizza Hut. In 1994, the US chain started selling pizzas online through their early PizzaNet portal, a flat, gray website that looks as ancient as you may expect, with fields only for a customer's address and phone number. But 1994 was also a watershed year for online shopping. It's the same year Amazon launched, which, at that time, sold mostly books. eBay followed in 1995. Rakuten, Japan's biggest e-commerce site that's expanded into Western markets the past few years. Launched 2 years later. China's Alibaba, in 1999. These companies were setting the stage for an online shopping transition. A wide variety of offerings, consumer accessibility and innovative technology. Mid-1990s globalization was also a major catalyst that made e-commerce a viable and highly profitable selling channel. Says Thomai Serdari, adjunct professor at New York University's Stern School of Business. The connected world enabled production to scale up quickly and significantly. For products at many price tiers. Consumers were eager to find either the best or the most acceptable quality product at the prices they could afford. The internet gave them the tool to conduct extensive research before purchasing an item. It also gave them the insights on how to evaluate the price-to-value ratio and finally the means to purchase. Quote, while early trailblazers such as Amazon and eBay, which dominate the industry today, provided the platform for online shopping, Serdari says it was really the consumer shift in behavior that led to online shopping taking off. It was actually consumers who embraced this type of marketplace as a democratized way to consume. She says, a real inflection point for online shopping as we know it today could be traced to around 2017. By the end of the prior year, many Americans were starting to shop online as often as they take out the trash. According to the Pew Research Center, 8 in 10 Americans used a computer or phone to buy something online that year, as opposed to the just 22% who did so in 2000. More phones in consumers' hands helped facilitate the jump as smartphone penetration hit 80% worldwide by 2017.